The anniversary of the Bengals' first exhibition game was yesterday. 38 years and a day ago, they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs 38-14. The team has definitely evolved since then. The reigning AFC North champs trying to prove that in front of more than 9,000 fans tonight as they faced off against, well, each other. Carson Palmer in his first game-like situation since the knee injury, and not a hot start. Incomplete to Chad Johnson on the first play. Palmer did not complete a pass in the first two series. Enter Anthony Wright. He manages to get the ball downfield to eventually set up the shovel pass to Tab Perry for the touchdown. The first big offensive play of the game. Chris Henry coming down with the Doug Johnson pass. Big especially because it set up this score, the Terrence Whitehead punch into the zone. The defense definitely not slacking, racking up the points for forcing punt returns, and also for this, the Brian Simmons pick after Johnson's pass ricochets off Kevin Casefaharn. 14-yard return for Simmons, and Carson comes back for round two, finishing 4 for 9, including this 57-yard strike to hot target Henry. Nice catch, Chris, initiating first-round pick Jonathan Joseph there in the face and in the zone. That's where Palmer finds Tab Perry for Perry's second catch and second touchdown of the scrimmage. Perry bobbles the catch, but has a much better handle on his bowling ball, celebrating by knocking down kingpins Henry, Johnson, and TJ Hushmanzada. Scary moment here as Benny Brazell breaks free after the catch while leading the pack to the zone on the 52-yard reception. He pulls up lame, pulling a hamstring, immediately calling for assistance. He walked off on his own power, so hopefully that's a good sign. Chris Henry making a statement with his actions, pulls down his third amazing catch of the evening. And you know what? Why not add a fourth? Henry, 4 receptions, 80 yards. His last catch, a wide open touchdown grab from Carson Palmer, giving the offense a 41-25 victory over the defense. Voice of the Bengals, Brad Johansson, joins us with analysis and reaction from tonight's scrimmage.
Tara, traditionally the defense wins this scrimmage, but not tonight. The offense dominates, 41-25, highlighted by Chris Henry. The man with off-field problems shows up tonight with 4 catches for 80 yards, including a touchdown.
I'm just trying to get back out here and get back in my groove. I ain't been playing in a long time, so I was just coming to, show the team that I'm ready for the season.
You can throw the ball high to him. He's Randy Moss Jr. And, it's good to see a guy he's hurt. The guy's playing at 80%, sucking it up, been through some adversity, been through some tough things, has had his name run through the mud in the media. And to see him out there with a smile on his face, making plays.
We've really been emphasizing team, not really trying to, I just want to expand my role, basically. Last year I got to do some returns. This year I get to play a little bit more receiver, and I get to contribute a bit more here and there. It's just every guy just wants to do what they can do so we can get to the Super Bowl.
The defense wins this thing all the time. Defense did not win this thing tonight. Why?
Chris Henry and Tab Perry.
Simple enough.
Simple enough. Chris Henry and Tab Perry.
I think it's excellent work is what I told the guys. We got a lot of things, obviously, to coach from. We got a lot of improvement to make. We got a lot of this, we got good things on tape, both the offense, defense, special teams. So we really have something to build upon. And we seem, other than a couple of muscle pulls, to get through pretty unscathed, which is the first most important thing.
They'll finish up scrimmage weekend tomorrow with a mock game. No tackling tomorrow at 1 o'clock. That will not include Carson Palmer. From Georgetown, Brad Johansson. Tara, I'll send it back to you.
You might think that he lost ground in the race to back up Carson Palmer. Right through 3 interceptions, but 2 of those were balls Chad Johnson should have caught. From then on, Johnson and Wright were nearly unstoppable, and it looks like Wright is the front runner now to start the preseason opener, and if he needs to, the regular season. Here's Joe Danneman.
On a beautiful breezy day, nearly 10,000 fans flooded Georgetown, Kentucky. Most of them probably wanted to see Carson Palmer, but number 9 took the day off to rest his knee. That left the field wide open for Anthony Wright to pass his way past Doug Johnson.
He has all the tools to be, starting quarterback. We're just all getting the timing together. It's our first years together, and we're coming along.
Wright bounced back and forth between first and second string in Friday's scrimmage and passed for a game-high 107 yards. This afternoon, he stuck with the starters and tripled his stats, throwing for nearly 300 yards.
Each and every time I get a chance to take a snap, I feel more comfortable with these guys, and I think the more I get, the better off I'll be, and be more prepared for whenever my numbers call.
The 2 numbers Wright called up this afternoon were 85 and 84. Cincinnati's 1-2 punch of Chad Johnson and TJ Hushmanzada found a rhythm with Wright, racking up a combined 18 catches for 250 yards receiving.
These guys give you a chance to make things happen, and that's what makes quarterbacks great. And I just want to have a chance to play with these guys and try to do as much as I can if necessary.
Notice how he said if necessary? Wright knows it's Carson Palmer's job when he's healthy, but no one knows when that will be. And that's why Wright is here. He's a capable quarterback who will step up if needed and step aside when Palmer's ready.
Yeah, I know I'll be ready. I'm going to do the thing necessary to keep this team running smoothly until Carson gets back, and I'm going to just do my part.
The biggest knock on Anthony Wright is his accuracy. There's no questioning his athletic ability or his arm strength, but for his career, he's only a 55% passer, and he's thrown more career interceptions than touchdowns. In the past, Wright got burned trying to do too much with very few options. But on a team stocked with weapons like the Bengals, Wright can be successful if he takes care of the football.
All we have to do is go back and throw in the Baltimore tapes from last year to see Anthony. I mean, we know that A. Wright's going to come out there and give us a good quarterback back there in the pocket. He's going to make good decisions.
Offensive coordinator Bob Bratkowski says the decision between Anthony Wright and Doug Johnson is critical to this football team. He and Marvin Lewis plan to watch tape from this weekend and could make a decision on Carson Palmer's backup very soon.
We want to make sure we do the right thing. So we'll talk about it, I'm sure, tomorrow, and we'll see and if we need to give him a little more time or if we're going to make that decision right away.
Joe Daneman, Fox 19 Sports.
Thanks, Joe. Some injury news from Georgetown. David Pollock has a sore hamstring. Marvin Lewis officially lists Pollock as day-to-day. Chris Henry didn't play this afternoon and really didn't have to after the way he played last night. 5 catches for 117 yards and a touchdown. And he's still not 100% because of a bad knee. Eventually, his knee is going to get better. And the Bengals hope he has a similar recovery from some of the decisions he made in the offseason.
After just 7 days in the seclusion of Georgetown College, images like this have been replaced by ones like this. After just 7 days, teammates and fans are less concerned about Chris Henry's rap sheet than about his reputation as one of the best young pass catchers in football.
He's such an explosive, fast receiver.
Tall guy, can jump over anybody in his league, and got great down the field speed. You know, you look at him, you wouldn't think he had that much speed, but once he get up on you, he just get to going. He can run right by you at any time.
And as talented as he is on the football field, at this point in his career, Chris Henry might need this team even more than it needs him.
I'm real comfortable around my teammates and, out here playing ball. That's what I do.
It's those other things Henry stands accused of doing that put him on the front page in the offseason, which has made his relationship with the Bengals a matter of trust. Can the team count on Chris Henry to change?
Oh, I think he's changed quite a bit.
He had some adversity in this time, so he tell me, how to stay out of that. So he been on me tough and just telling me to keep practicing hard, just keep doing what I'm doing.
So what you're saying is he's helping you try to avoid some of those same things he went through?
Yes, sir.
He's facing some adversity. He's learning to deal with it. And I think in dealing with that, he's becoming a more mature person and accepting responsibility for what has occurred.
Last year, Chris Henry averaged almost 14 yards every time he caught the ball. That's second on the team, only to Chad Johnson. And it's that big play potential that players and coaches say is scary for a second-year receiver.
Absolutely, it's scary. You look at his performance last year as a rookie, he had 6 touchdowns. So it's only up for him.
I have a lot of expectations for Chris. I think he has a chance to be a phenomenal receiver in this league and one of the better receivers in this league. It just comes down to work now, and he's got to work and keep progressing, keep understanding the offense better, and I have very high expectations for him.
I get that vibe from the coaches and Carson. I'm a hard worker. Team play. I'm just out here trying to help my team out best way I can.
Tomorrow's a day off at Georgetown, back to 2-a-days on Monday at Georgetown College.
And the Bengals enjoying a day off in the midst of training camp to rest. Mediu Williams simply enjoying being able to participate in training camp after missing most of last season with a shoulder injury. Williams has recovered from last October's surgery and is very much looking forward to regaining the role of starting free safety. Voice of the Bengals, Brad Johansson, caught up with Mediu in Georgetown.
Down in Georgetown here real quick with Mediu Williams. After a couple of inter-squad scrimmages, where do you feel the defense is right now?
I feel like we're doing well thus far, but we still have a long ways to go. We're not where we need to be right now, but that's why you have, training camps and you have the preseason to get to that point where by the start of the first game, we should be where we need to be.
Some of this is mental and coming back from an injury, like you said, especially sticking that shoulder in for the first time. You did that long before this scrimmage, but where are you physically now?
Physically, I think I'm better than I was ever. For the first time I ever put on pads since I've been here with the Bengals. This is strong, as physically as I've ever felt, and I feel good going into the season. And the last couple of practices, and the scrimmage last night, and then the mock game today gave me a lot of confidence going into the game and having a bang and hit yesterday. Everything is positive right now.
We have kind of talked about the new attitude that Dexter Jackson has brought to this defense and playing off you. How's the chemistry working so far early with you two?
It's great. It's great thus far. We feed off one another, and I think the best thing that we do well is one of the things that we do well is communication. We communicate so well with one another, especially non-verbally using sign language and things like that, especially when there's a lot of noise and things like that. So I think right now our communication is in mid-season form.
Preparation is a big thing. You guys had it with the preseason opponents last year. You get to start out right off with another playoff team that a lot of people picked to be a deep playoff team this year in the Washington Redskins. I would assume you're kind of ready to hit somebody else now.
Well, Brad, a guy like myself, I'm from the Washington area. Anytime I get a chance to go against the Redskins, to me, it's a great opportunity not only to play an NFL game, but also to showcase my talent against some of my family and friends that are back in Washington. So I'm looking forward to it.
Maryland Field.
Little Maryland Field, exactly.
All right, Mediu Williams, thank you very much. Terrible, send it back to you.
All right.
Thanks so much, Brad. And don't forget to log on to Bengals Nation at WKRC.com. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
All right, Roger Goodell, your new NFL commissioner, the former league CEO, unanimously elected by the owners. His task, continue the astonishing track record of financial success led by Paul Tagliabue. The NFL should rake in about $10 billion over the next 6 years in TV rights alone. They've gone 20 years without a labor dispute. Add Eric Steinbach's photo to the file of Bengals mugshots. He pleaded not guilty in a Campbell County court on charges of boating under the influence. The charge only carries a $250 fine, but Steinbach is choosing to fight it with a trial set for October 11th. Sources close to the incident tell Local 12 2 other boats were stopped in the no-wake zone Sunday night, but only Steinbach was detained. Eric Steinbach makes the trip to Georgetown after he participates in the 11-on-11 drills this afternoon after that court appearance. Here's a welcome shot. Carson Palmer delivering that rainbow of a deep ball to who else? Number 85. However, Greg Brooks would be there to knock one away in the fade attempt to Kelly Washington. Palmer completed 10 of his last 11 practice passes without wearing a brace. Still, he sees room for improvement on offense.
We still need to get a lot better to get where we need, but we talk about wanting to be one of the top offenses in the league and wanting to be one of the #1 offenses in the league. And if you're in the top 5, you shouldn't be missing any passes in practice, and you shouldn't have any drops. And today we didn't have any drops in that team period. But we did some good things, and we've gotten better in this camp. But in order for us to get where we want to get and accomplish our goals, we still got a long ways to go.
I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing. Sunday against the Redskins.
Okay, great.
All right.
Thanks, Brad.
We'll be right back.
Well, it's a who's who of sideline sitters for Sunday's preseason opener against the Redskins. Chris Perry is out with an ankle problem. David Pollock hamstring. Antonio Chapman bad hip. Defensive tackle Sam Adams still on the physically unable to perform list. Oh, and Carson Palmer remains cautious. He's still taking snaps, but will not see game action either. Marvin Lewis has tabbed Anthony Wright to start. Despite bicep tendonitis, he didn't throw today. Doug Johnson also expected to receive plenty of time under center, but the veteran Wright has been more impressive.
Every bit of what we expected, and he'll give us an opportunity to do good things if he's our guy that's playing quarterback for us at any point, any time this season.
I can run all day long. That's not the issue. The issue is when a 300-pound guy puts all his weight in your leg, and that's when you can withstand that, you're 100%, and I'm not there yet.
Well, final results of our Local 12 poll right now. 48% care more about the Bengals at this point. 52% root more for the Reds, but 2,900 votes online and by phone today. Thanks to all of you. Well, Ben Roethlisberger's got his best stuff. You love him or you hate him, he's not going anywhere. Exactly 2 months after crashing his motorcycle, breaking his jaw, Bill Cowher has given him the green light to start the preseason opener against Arizona on Saturday. Despite 7 hours of surgery, Big Ben looking no worse for the wear. Hasn't missed a day of training camp. Bengals get in some goal line work at training camp this afternoon. Carson Palmer scoring on the naked bootleg, which leaves offensive coordinator Bob Bratkowski saying, am I seeing this thing right? No Carson on Sunday. Anthony Wright getting in some final snaps before starting the preseason opener. That is until the weather took a little nasty turn. Lightning ends the action. So is number 2 a little nervous about his first Bengals start?
I'm nervous about this Lightning, but I'm not really nervous. I mean, you get nervous, I know, before the game or whatnot, but once it gets started and you get the plan, it's just like any other game, and you just have to go out and just execute your job and do well.
If Carson's not able to go, everybody on the team feel comfortable with him being there, being back there, and, you know, we all feel that we know he can get the job done, so, you know, we'll rally with him.
It's not the end of training camp, but this weekend the Bengals do get a change of scenery to Paul Brown Stadium and a change of pace with the first of 4 preseason games Sunday against the Redskins.
Good for the young guys, see what they can do too. So get everybody on the same page, gives you 4 games to get ready for Kansas City.
Justin and Brian Simmons and John Thornton, every day you hit the same guys. So it's nice to go out there and play against someone different, kind of get your rhythm back.
NFL protocol says most of the starters won't play much, and some won't see the field at all. Carson Palmer is probably still at least a couple of weeks away from testing his knee in a full contact situation, which means he'll watch Anthony Wright take most of the early snaps on Sunday against the Skins.
It'll be tough. You know, in the first preseason game, you normally only play a couple series anyways, but I'd love to be out there, but hopefully I'll get my shot in one of these upcoming preseason games.
It's a chance to go out and play. It's everybody's chance, and I'm going to try to do the best that I can, go out and put some points on the board.
That's the veteran perspective. The preseason is about things like timing, rhythm, or in the case of Anthony Wright, getting comfortable with new teammates and a new system. There's a completely different approach for younger players. They know one play in the fourth quarter of a meaningless game could influence whether or not they even make the team.
For young guys to get in there and guys that don't have that much experience to get in there and be able to show that they can do what needs to be done is extremely crucial, and it's basically our season.
You're playing against people that want to, you know, smush your face in the dirt, and you just gotta get down in dirt and have fun out there.
And someone who figures to have fun is Ahmad Brooks, who so far has brought a full contact mindset to what has mostly been non-contact work at camp.
Somebody with a different jersey color on, you know, that means I'm gonna be out there headhunting and trying to make as many plays as I can, and I don't know how many times I could stress that, but, you know, as a linebacker, that's what we do. We go out there, we hit people, and we make plays.